label. Your first identity is an innocent, pure human being. Then all of those other labels come afterwards. Yes. And I'm saying this to you because it's a test now that we will become true, our label, true to the content within. If I'm Muslim, then that's my label. But it's my conduct true to the label. You see? And likewise for the Christian, the Jew, so on and so forth. So God has made this. He says that He has created us from one soul. This is God saying this. To us, this is Muslim Quranic teaching. From one soul. Meaning like if you see my hand like this, it's a circle. It's like one soul. And then God, He caused this one soul to split itself into one half male and one half female. You understand what I'm showing you? So first we're one soul, we're one whole. Then God, He separated this whole into male and female. And then the male and female have the desire to come back together. So what do? They marry. They have children and it breaks up again. Now we have grandchildren. What do? They want to get together. So the process of human being is separating and coming back together. Separating and coming back together. And we separate and come back together because we have to make more progress for humanity. This is God. And He says, and He made us into tribes and into nations. Not that we would despise one another, but that we would know one another. This is the biggest mistake that most humans make. We stop too many on the outside, you know, on the surface, on the container. My container happens to be black, got nappy hair. Another container has pale skin, straight hair. That's the container. But God says the picture of all of you is the same on the inside. So what am I saying? If I think I'm superior to you because I'm black, and all of a sudden I need a kidney, I'm going to forget about my black superiority. And I'm going to look for a human being that's got a kidney that's same as I have a kidney on the inside. My difference is on the outside. My skin is dark on the outside. My nappy hair is dark on the outside. But my sameness with every human being is on the inside. My heart's in the same place as yours. My lungs in the same place as yours. My spleen in the same place as yours. So the more important identity is the identity common to all of us, and that is the sameness, the same oneness that we have inside. And you know, I've never heard a man cough in German. I haven't. I heard German. I heard German speak. I never heard a man sneeze in Japanese. You see? But all men and women, we cough, we laugh, we sneeze in the same way. You cry, your tears fall down. They don't go up. You see? So God has told us that everything on top of the earth glitters. A lot of things glitter. Gold, silver, cars, handsome men, handsome women, handsome races, handsome nations. This is God talking to us in Scripture. But He said, all of this beauty and its differences is put there to test your conduct. So to the Muslim, you think you're superior to the Jew or Christian? Let's look at your conduct compared to that. You see? You understand that? The differences that you have, God has given you that difference to see if you will be better. God said, He said, if He wanted to, He could have made you all one humanity. All black, all white, all Jews, all Muslim. But God said He didn't do it that way because He wants to test to see who was the best in conduct. Yeah. So I just want to make those few remarks, and I'm going to sit down, I'm going to stand up and say a few more words, and then we're going to stop because we want to hear from our guests who have honored us with their presence. I think almost every religious tradition is here, and you have humbled me. You really have. The good Christians and the Jews that I know, and those of you who I don't know, you have humbled me. Allah Akbar. I bear witness that I seek refuge with God against the rejected enemy we call Satan. I would like to say this to you if we have a lot of youngsters here. Man. And I would like to speak to we adults. When you find that your life is not making any sense to you, religion says, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, no matter. It says that the first nature that God gave you and your mind have stopped talking to each other. I want you to listen to what I'm saying. I'm not going to be long. Every single one of you and myself were born on innocence and purity. That's your first nature. For all humans. You're not born in sin. This flesh here, this flesh thing is not sinful. The sin is not the flesh. The sin is the mind that's been corrupted. That's what the sin is. The sin is not the flesh. God has given you this flesh as your perfect helper. This flesh, you'll take it, lift up a glass of water, lift up a glass of water. Lift up a plate of food. The flesh will do that. The flesh is an obedient servant of your mind. And when you're first born into the world, your mind doesn't know anything wrong to do. So your mind is in accord with your flesh as a small young creature. I hope I'm making sense to you. I'm scared because a lot of people haven't heard this kind of teaching before. The little baby, year-old, 6 months old, 7 months old, 9 months old, year-old, 5 years old, that creature cannot commit sin. And I've heard my good friends tell me, but Mr. Nasir, I saw this baby pick up a cigarette. Or I saw the baby pick up a glass and try to drink beer. Well, why was the cigarette and the beer in the presence of the baby? The baby was just imitating you and didn't have a conscious thought of what it was doing. Sin in Islam means that your conscience has been pricked. Something inside of you says this action is wrong. And the prophet said, if your conscience doesn't bother you, then do as you will. This is the teachings of Muhammad the prophet. If your conscience doesn't bother you, God is not going to bother you. That's a wonderful teaching. So you don't need a Bible to judge you. You don't need a Quran to judge you. You don't need a Torah to judge you. You just need your original excellence that God gave you, and that will be your judge. I'm going to prove this to you. That people say, oh, you're going to die, you're going to go to hell, and God is going to punish you. God is not going to punish anybody. And I know I'm going to get ready to get hung up on the highest raft by Muslims, because they don't understand. God doesn't punish anybody. God makes laws. Laws are inherent in your excellence. You have excellence. And your excellence is pushing you to evolve higher and higher as an intelligent creature. Males and females. No male has a superiority over a female in righteousness. No, it doesn't exist. But you know, your body says, give me air. As long as you give it air, body just as happy. But the minute your mind deviates from its original obedience, says it'll take a cigarette. Now the punishment begins, because the law is placed in nature. This body God made is perfect. This body has no mistakes in it. The minute you smoke a cigarette, God has invoked that body to tell you, put that cigarette down. And it speaks body language, not English, not German, not Arabic. You what? That's what the body does. You want me to translate for you? Don't put that in me. That's the righteous law. That's the original purity talking to us, but we can't hear it. We can't translate it. The person he's thirsty, you give him water or milk, the body happy. Just as happy. Why? Because the person is living in accord with his original innocence. You sitting with your innocence right now. You sitting on the floor with your innocence right now. You can't go anywhere without your innocence going also with you. It doesn't leave you. So if he drinks the water, he drinks the milk, the body's at peace. And Prophet Muhammad said, he put it this way, he says, and the body has rights. This is a powerful teaching of Islam, that your body has rights. So the man, he turns around, what does he do? He goes against his original purity. He drank the wine. What happened? And now what happened? He drink the wine and be telling him to stop. He just goes, oh, I don't want to listen to you. I don't want to listen to you, Rabbi. I don't want to listen to you, minister. I don't want to listen to you, Imam. I don't want to listen to you, mommy and daddy. I'm on my own. I don't need nobody to tell me what to do. Can you imagine that? Here's a person telling you he don't need nobody, but then I guess he changed his own diapers when he was 6 days old, right? And if he messes up that body that God gave him, he's going to die. Who's going to have to bury him? We are. He won't even have the ability to bury himself. So you're not doing anything on your own. You need other people. I'm speaking this to this young man. So what happens? Oh, God's going to punish him. No. What punishes him? His own body. You keep drinking that alcohol, your body eventually is going to punish you. You call it cirrhosis of the liver. That's the law that you have violated inside of your own excellence that God evolved in you from a clot of germ. Yeah. The cigarette smoker, he continue on. God not going to punish him. The laws of God that he created in the body is going to punish that person. And what does he have now? Lung cancer. So we go on and on and on. Religion is trying to mature us out of the baby fantasy understanding of religion to grown-up rational understanding of religion. Thinking human beings. And I want to say this and I'm going to sit down so you will understand clearly what I'm saying. When I was a little boy, they taught me the story of Adam. And they taught me there was no other human being on earth but Adam, one person. Then said out from him came Eve, 2 people. Then out of them, a child named Cain. Next one named Abel. 4 people. Then they taught me nobody else was on earth. They taught me this. Then they taught me that Cain killed Abel. That leaves 3 people on earth. Then it's in scripture right now. Then they said Cain left this land where he was and went to the land of Nod and knew his wife. Where did she come from? You understand what I'm saying? Many of you are smiling. And scripture is trying to tell you, sometimes it's speaking clearly or literally, and in this instance, scripture is telling you it's allegorical. You know why I'm telling you this? Because if you believe in that story as a grown person, you have also went to the land of Nod. And you spell Nod. Don't laugh at me, Rabbi. Rabbi laughing. A couple of ministers are laughing too. Because they know what I'm doing. I'm not disrespecting you, youngsters. I'm not. I'm challenging your thought. Nod means, like, you see me standing here, and I'm doing this, and all of a sudden I do this here? You call that nodding. So scripture left a hint there that when you read scripture, don't nod in your reading. Question, because there's great wisdom in that scripture. Yes. So I'm finishing now. Adam, you spell him A-D-A-M. It's not one word, it's 2 words. A-damn. Not D-A-M-N, curse word. No, that's not what scripture means. Damn means that this first man that God made, was the progenitor of all of us. You know how you have a dam or water runs over the dam? You know what I'm talking about? And you know, if you could put a device there, you could have hydroelectricity, right? From the what? Running water. So Adam represents the first man with all of the potentials of excellence for all human beings. And in him, the generations of genetic possibilities ran and produced a doctor, a lawyer, engineering. That's the running water. That's the dam that scripture is talking about. And then his wife is Eve. And you spell it E-V-E, Eve. And in Islam, we don't have her name. The name for Eve is not in the Quran. Why is it not in the Quran? Because God doesn't want us to look at a woman. He wants to see the function, not the physical body, but the function of the woman. Like we had Christmas Eve, you know, that's the night before Eve. New Year's Eve, the night before, right? So Eve is the night of the human being before he's born from his mother's womb.